Hello, today I'm here with Cath Henshall. Hi, Cath. Can you just
Hi,
introduce
Kate.
yourself quickly to the listeners?
Hi, my name's Cath Henshall. I've just submitted a PhD thesis investigating the effects of stress, different types of stress, and also exercise on how horses learn. And I've applied a neuroscience translational lens to how we designed and then analysed what we found. And prior to that, I've been engaged in a variety of horsey-related activities, including horse training and behaviour, as well as teaching in vocational and higher education.
Oh, fantastic, thank you. And I'm understanding you're giving a presentation at the upcoming ISES conference. Can you tell us a little bit about what we might learn during your presentation?
Yes, and I'd like to thank the ISES organisers for inviting me to make this presentation. So my talk is going to introduce some ideas from neuroscience, from cognitive and affective neuroscience, that we could apply to how we train horses and how we interpret their behaviour during training. So it's building on the work of early researchers in this field, so people like Andy Hemmings and Sebastian McBride and other people who started taking this approach, particularly looking at how dopamine interacts with stereotypical behaviour and also cognition. So they've been working in this field for over a decade. And now my talk is going to take a bit of a different approach to what they have taken. And it's particularly focused on how horses respond and react to the kinds of aversive stimuli that we use in what we traditionally call negative reinforcement or positive punishment type training techniques. So we're going to explore a couple of ideas that have come out of the neuroscience research and apply them to how horses respond in training, and in particular how we can use some of those concepts to interpret, particularly when horse behaviour doesn't occur as we expect. So when we think we've applied negative reinforcement or hopefully less positive punishment and our horses still aren't responding as we expect, that I think that some of the findings from cognitive affective neuroscience can help us interpret that behaviour, and as a result adapt our practice so that we can get the behavioural outcome that we wish, but also do it in a way that is, if not positive, at least not negative in terms of valence for the horse, so we can improve the horse's experience of the aversive training stimuli that we commonly use.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. It also sounds like there's going to be something really useful for all horse owners and riders in your discussion.
Yeah, so that's the aim, is to turn the literally tens of thousands of studies. If you do a search in PubMed for stress and learning, for example, there'll be 37,000 hits will come up on that search engine. So there are lots and lots and lots of studies looking at this. And it is obviously because it's the brain, and despite the fact that there are amazing tools now to measure what's happening in single neurons and to use genetics to cause neurons to turn on and off, this is in rodents, we're still at the really early stage of understanding how the brain works and what happens when learning takes place in the brain. So my talk is trying to synthesize some of that, a small percentage. I haven't read 37,000 studies, and apply that in a practical way to allow horse owners to interpret their horse's behaviour. So it's not seeking to replace the techniques that we already use, but to add another tool to the toolbox to be able to say, maybe this is what's going on. How can I change what I'm doing in order to, as I said, get the behavioural outcome that we're seeking, but also do it in a manner that minimises the negative components of using aversive training techniques with our horses. So I'm not going to say we shouldn't use negative reinforcement in our training. That's not what the talk's about. It's about saying, what does neuroscience tell us about how we can improve the ways that we do that?
Oh, really interesting. Well, thank you very much, Cath. We're very much looking forward to listening to your presentation next week, and we'll see you at the conference.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Bye.